Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. Meditation gathers energy when we meditate together. And this week we have Annie Campbell, who will lead us in meditation. And then we have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we'll open it up for sharing, and we end at about 10:45. Over to you, Annie.
Good morning, everybody. I always feel a bit nervous about doing this because I feel I'm a sort of novice. So what I'm going to do first to help me is just to take a great big deep breath in, all of us together, and then out really slow, helping me to calm down. That's better. Thank you to everyone for being here. It's a blessing to be part of this group, and it's a joy. It's always a joy to join with everybody. And I thank Miracle Network for inviting me and for running this wonderful Wednesday meditation. Today, I would like to share with you a practice that I use a lot, and I call it the hot air balloon. And it's very much based on love holds no grievances, and my grievances hide the light of the world in me. And it's for the days when things don't turn out like I want them to. I'll give you an example. Normally here the weather is gorgeous. It's sunny, it's beautiful, the scenery is stunning, and we have two lovely friends staying with us who we've been ACAM friends, and they're here today, I hope somewhere on here. And it has tipped down ever since they arrived. And I've wanted to take them around to show them the beauty of the scenery. And it's all in mist. You can't see anything. You can't see the mountains. You can't walk on the beach because it's torrential rain. And I'm thinking, And that's something I'd rather it wasn't like that. So that is a grievance. And I've noticed with myself, I've been very good at healing the grievances against, obvious people. But the grievance is about wanting things to be the other than they are. Like last night, I was going to print myself a little guide to do this meditation, and the printer wouldn't work. Oh my goodness me, did I get cross with the printer? Another grievance. So today, I find by doing this, what I call the hot air balloon, it raises my ability to feel the joy and to feel the connectedness with everyone, that I'm with you and you're with me, And so what I do, this hot air balloon, I really visualize this. I really see it. I can see, I've got, what a hot air balloon is. It's got its big balloon and it's got a big basket. And what I do, I say, okay, I wish I were taller than I was because I can't reach these cupboards and I struggle on a stool. So I think, okay, that's a grievance. So I take some wrapping paper and I wrap it up and I put it into the hot air balloon basket. And then I take the weather and I wish the sun was out. So that's a grievance. So I wrap up my desire for the weather to be different, wrap it up, put it in the hot air balloon. And I work through gradually all the different grievances I might have had about things that I would rather they were different. And I put them in the hot air balloon. And I trust you can all imagine your own hot air balloons and put whatever in them you want, but anyone can join me in mine too. You can have a ride on mine if you fancy it. But what I do this, and this is what I'm doing in the 20-minute silence. I start with visualizing this. And so my hot air balloon is now full of all these packaged grievances. And so I get in the basket, I let go of the rope, I let go. And the basket starts to rise. It's a very cloudy, dark day as the balloon rises. And so I take my first grievance parcel and I stand at the edge of the basket and I say, I'm going to let go of this grievance. I'm going to hand it over to you, Holy Spirit. And I let go of the grievance. And I can see it falling down into the clouds and pop, one of the black clouds is gone. And I keep doing this with all those grievances I've packaged up. And gradually, gradually, the basket rises and I feel lighter, I feel calmer. Everyone I drop over the side and let go of, I feel lighter and lighter and lighter. And suddenly, I realize that I am above the clouds. The black clouds are gone. And I look around and I realize, wow, I am one with everyone. I'm one with everything. I don't need these. I've given them away. They've all been healed. My errors are gone. My errors of thinking are gone. And when I really, really do let go and practice this visually as I'm meditating, I find I do sometimes reach a place that is beautifully described in the text. And I'm going to read you this little piece of text because this is my destination. This is today where I'm wanting to go. And I invite you to take your own hot air balloon up and see how you go. What I find it, whatever I manage to do in terms of meditation, and the lighter and more connected I feel. And it also stops that busy mind as well. Visualizing. When you're visualizing something, your mind can't be busy. And it's a very wonderful way of getting into that quiet, peaceful, light space, which is described here in the text. And I'm going to read this little piece, and then once I finish, Sharon will ring the bell and we'll go into our 20-minute silence. And I invite you to play with your own balloon or do whatever meditation you wish. It's only an invitation today to play with this. And so the objective of this whole exercise for me is to remove all that bad feeling I have about the things I want to be different and reach this point beyond the body, beyond the sun and stars, past everything you see, and yet somehow familiar, is an arc of golden light that stretches as you look into a great and shining circle. And all the circle fills with light before your eyes. The edges of the circle disappear. And what is it is no longer contained at all. The light expands and covers everything, extending to infinity forever, shining with no break or limit anywhere. Within it, everything is joined in perfect continuity, nor is it possible to imagine that anything could be outside, for there is nowhere that the light is not.
Open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have about 18 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand or use the reactions button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll invite you to take yourself off of mute. And if you'd like to ask Annie a question or you have a comment with confidentiality, put your message in the chat function at the bottom of the screen and I'll read it out. Who'd like to share? Linda.
Thank you, Annie, for that. It was lovely. I've been in 2 hot air balloons, and I could visualize it so clearly. But what happened was I had quite a few grievances that I hadn't really realized I'd got. They came to mind, and I was able to put them in the basket and let them go. But it was surprising that I'd got the grievances that I hadn't realized I'd been keeping. So thank you for that. I really appreciated it. My daughter did me 2 cross-stitch hot air balloon pictures, and I love them. And she's done me a butterfly one as well. I love butterflies and hot air balloons and frogs. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. I love it. Thank you so much for your share. And hot air balloons are wonderful things. I've been up a couple of times, and they are amazing when you're in them for real. And so thank you for your share. And your daughter must be amazing to do them with cross stitch.
Yes, she did it when she was like, well, she's what, 50 this year, so she did it when she was about 30. Yes, yeah, they're lovely. I've had them up all these years. Yeah, thank you, Annie.
Pleasure.
Who'd like to share? Claire, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Annie. That was a very helpful meditation. Thank you. What I found myself was that rather than packaging up grievances from the past, I found myself packaging up preferences for the future of a couple of things beyond my control. I'm awaiting a decision, and I would prefer it very much to go one way and be anxious about it going the other way. So I found I could package up those preferences and put them in the balloon, and also just let them go as the meditation progressed, and feel lighter as a result, be able to hand the outcome over to the Lord. And the other thing I discovered was that when I got to a certain point above the clouds, the balloon disappeared altogether because I didn't need it. So perhaps I'd thrown that overboard as well. And when distracting thoughts then arose in my mind, I was able to throw them overboard without a balloon at all. So on the whole, that was very helpful, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a beautiful share. I mean, I use this one a lot, and I do find if I'm feeling a bit down, it always lifts my mood, always, without fail. And you're quite right to do the forward things. I hadn't thought about that. That's exactly the same, isn't it? It's holding on to a desire for something, an outcome that you want. You've decided, I want this outcome. This is my best interest. And of course, we never know what is for our best interest. Now, that's fantastic to do that. I have to say, I've never shared this in a group before ever. And I had the most hilarious experience because I landed up there in the light with all of you. There were hundreds of balloons around me, and they suddenly all went pop, 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 and they disappeared too. It was like we all went in together. It was fun. And it is a very good one for lifting the mood, in my own view. But in fact, grievances are hiding the light of the world in me, or that actual lesson has a wonderful meditation, which I've really borrowed this one from. It does exactly the same, only they're putting people there, individual people that you don't take them up in a balloon, but you put them in the light. And it's a lot of fun. So thank you for that very much, Claire.
Who would like to share? Catherine, take yourself off mute.
I have. Thank you, Annie. That was delightful. So I closed my eyes when you were, you know, in the initial part when we were going up in the balloon. So it was a real visualization for me. And then I thought, you know, what about my grievance falling on the head of someone? And then when you said, oh, and then pop, a black cloud disappears, I thought, oh yeah, okay, there is no grievance really. So I kind of got that. And then you also said, and I throw everyone over the side, and I heard everyone, like every person. And then I thought, well, that's perfect. I can throw, because all I'm throwing is my projections onto them. So I don't think I got as far as wrapping anyone up. And but I did have this idea of throwing very doesn't sound very nice, does it? But it's all meaningless. So yeah, I found that quite helpful, and that, well, very helpful and very mood lifting, as you say. And then it's combined with another visualization I've been doing, which is that when you meditate, they say think of your thoughts as clouds, and that always that are just disappearing. And I thought that doesn't work for me, because when I look up, that symbolically for me is a positive, connecting with higher self. So I've been seeing myself above the clouds, looking down at the clouds, and then choosing again and resourcing from God, from looking up, because that represents again. And with your meditation, it's perfect, because we went up above the clouds. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. That's lovely. I do believe that we should be light-hearted. And I you know, the idea of actually, you got people in there, you're going, woof, off you go, off you go. Whoo, they float down, and Holy Spirit catches them, of course.
Of course, yes.
And corrects everything for us.
Yeah, well, the black cloud with the person is my projection. So
Of
as
course.
they fall, they just turn into my projection, and
All right.
the cloud disappears. So that was my mind came up with that resolution. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Who'd like to share? Dennis, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Annie, for that wonderful idea of the hot air balloon. Where can I purchase a large one? And the wonderful reading from the course, Beyond the Body, Beyond the Stars. My only question is, if one gets there, and it is possible, how does one stay there?
If only we could all do that, hey?
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Oh, yes. But I tell you one thing, the more I come and join with everybody here, the longer I can stay there. It's very helpful to be in a group like this, because you can literally feel everybody. At least I certainly could today feel everybody going higher and higher and higher and higher. And it will keep me there for quite a long time today. I shall go around, you know.
Thank you.
But thank you, yes.
Okay, who'd like to share? Okay, Annie, I just wanted to say that it was a wonderful meditation, and I'm going to practice that and to take my hot air balloon up there, filled up all the time. I also liked something you shared before we started this meditation, where you were talking about how it's raining outside, and and you said I had to write it down because it was wonderful. It was accept things as they are. I thought, oh, that's so simple. Just accept things as they are. If it rains, accept it. You know, I don't have to have a resistance. So that was an extra bonus today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? We have this phrase, we're all doing it here. There are 4 of us, all course students here going around. It is as it is. It is as it is. Acceptance. I think acceptance is 9/10 of our journey, isn't it? Really accepting things as they are, accepting, you know, you age and you get aches and pains, and you're accepting that, just accepting it is as it is. Our wonderful Brighton coach, Graham Potter, and John and I are both Brighton fans, and it's one of his favourite phrases. When after a match and they've done really badly and everything, and he just says, it is as it is. And we think, fantastic, at least he's got that. No acceptance, eh?
Who'd like to share? Sandy.
Thank you, Annie. Yes, I found that really helpful, and I was really surprised about how many grievances I had that I was unaware of, and I found that a really powerful exercise for me, which I think I will use more often, because it's so subtle, isn't it, sometimes how these things can be, and it's not until we bring our awareness to it that it comes to light, and then we can let go of it. So I'm really grateful for that today. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Sandy. I think that, you know, you're so right. I mean, for me, it was a long time before I really, really suddenly realized that the everyday things that go on, and how often I do say, oh, I wish it wasn't like that. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish it wasn't like that. And, you know, there is no order of miracles. So those are equal grievances to the big, what one would call the big conflicts you might have within relationships or family or whatever. And you've done lots and lots and lots and lots of work on those, and then you've forgotten all these little itsy bitsy things, like not liking the ants coming out of the kitchen walls to eat the honey, you know. Beautiful ants, I accept you. But it is, I personally, for me, I found that doing this exercise is very, very helpful, because, I do it quite often, because it clears each day, it clears these little things that we think are little things, but, you know, as the Course says, you know, a tiny piece of irritation hides a mountain of rage. Whoa.
And you just said it, one of these things, you know, it will be a lovely exercise to use before you go to bed, so that you've observed any of your grievances in the day that you might be hanging on to, and just let go of them, hand them over. And I think that can be such a beautiful thing, and hopefully the more we do it, the more we don't go into those grievances, or at least hand them over much quicker.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Who'd like to share? Angela, take yourself off mute.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Annie. That lovely meditation. The reading was gorgeous. And in my visualization, it happened slightly differently. I had the hot air balloon, but apart from not liking heights, as it's only a pretend, it wouldn't have mattered. But I put certain people in my life in it, like Catherine. The whole person went in, whole people went in. I didn't bother to note my little grievances. I just chose my favourite ones. So in they went. And I had a separate balloon and a basket for he who shall not be named, and put that person in there that everybody's thinking about currently. Well, a lot of people are thinking about currently. So for me, the best way for it to work is not to go with them, but just off they go, away from me. So sending them to Holy Spirit. So the balloon took off, and I watched it as it went, and as it went further and further from me, it got smaller and smaller and smaller, and I knew it was heading for Holy Spirit, until it disappeared out of my sight. And I felt a lot lighter for that, and I thought, that's it, it's gone. So off it went. And then so what surprised me was, so I just took a little while to just enjoy the feeling of it not being there. And then as I turned round to walk away, there were all the people in light form. So suddenly I could see them just as they truly were. In fact, I've got a shiver going on now. Just as they really were, without the visualization of the appearance of the body, without how I perceived them. They were all there, and they were all smiling, and I felt so benevolent towards them, and I could almost cry now, because it was so lovely to see their true being instead of how I'd perceived them before, because that had gone. And there they were in front of me, with me. They weren't just in front of me, they were with me, as one with me. And we were all very united and loving. And it was a beautiful experience to see them as they really were. So thank you, Annie.
Wow. Thank you so much, Angela. That is, it's wonderful and extraordinary. And I was very excited to share today, just to see how did people experience something like that in their own way. And that is wonderful. I shall do the reverse. I shall practice that way of actually letting them go off on their own. I think that's a wonderful thought, to do that. Thank you.
Okay, we've come to the end of our meditation. Take yourself off mute and show your appreciation for Annie. That was wonderful, Annie. So beautiful.
Thank you so much, Annie.
Thank you, Annie.
Annie.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you,
Annie.
Good luck to everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.